Yeah. So yeah, welcome back. Good to see you again. It's always nice to see repeat masochists. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's fabulous. No, I really enjoyed talking with you the other night, so I'm glad you decided to come back and visit us.
Yeah. You know what I find interesting though is how many of these other appointments have been
Besides me,
well, of course, but how many of these appointments have been named and finalized? Like, boom, here it is,
if
it's
you actually, I just
accepted.
want to say one thing. If you wonder why I wear sunglasses, there's usually a couple of reasons. One, either I've been drinking and I'm the night before and I'm really hungover, but that's not the case today. Or we have all these to get the lighting bright enough so it's not like looks like pitch black in here. We have all these lights on and they're really blinding to me. And so if you wonder why I wear sunglasses a lot,
I thought
that
it was just to
that's
look cool.
what am I, 15? Anyway, that is why I wear sunglasses, in case you're curious. Just because I find it really harsh on my eyes, because there's a light right beside me here that is really bright, and then there's one there, another one there. So it's like very bright in here. So I think it's very bright. And cause they thanks, and cause they look sweet. Exactly, because they look sweet. Um, how comes Steve? Actually, his name is Mike.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
Mike. Okay, that's cool. Hey, you can't expect everyone to know your you on first name basis after only meeting you once.
I'll have to get one of those
The
Walmart
fact
name
that
tags or something.
you acknowledged him at all is more than most people can say. So I'm sure he appreciated that.
Why, yes, thank you. He likes me. He really, really likes
He
me.
does. He does. Yeah. So I guess the big news today is Tom Daschle. Speaking of Tom Daschle, got offered the appointment for Health and Human Resources, and of course accepted.
Of
So
course.
he will be in charge now of Medicare and Medicaid and all that fun stuff. And we'll see if Obama moves towards universal health care. Then Daschle will be his point man, obviously.
Well, between that and Teddy Kennedy saying that that's all Ted Kennedy wants to do this time
Yeah,
back.
that's.
He's
I
come out
think.
and
I
said it.
think that would be considered. Ted Kennedy would consider that if he could be part of achieving universal health care. I think that would be the crowning jewel on Ted Kennedy's life,
Yeah.
which there are so many things that really, I mean, you always hear people always make jokes about Chappaquiddick and stuff, and they wouldn't want to get a car with them and stuff, just like, Cheney, you wouldn't want to go hunting with him. But the fact is, every important piece of legislation that had anything to do with education, I say this often because it's true, and because the man won't be with us very much longer, but any important piece of legislation in the last 40 years about education or healthcare has Teddy Kennedy's name on it, whether he wrote it or co-sponsored it or co-authored it. His name is on it. And this really would be the crowning jewel for Ted Kennedy.
Yeah, it would be.
Universal health care.
Which is, one of the reasons why I think Hillary is interested in the Secretary of State, because she knows as long with Teddy
Well,
back,
we
she
have
can't take
heard
that
today
portfolio.
through the via grapevine, some of my political connections that actually have, that she is going to accept the position and that Bill Clinton is going to. Now, this hasn't been out in the news yet, so you probably haven't heard this in the news, but some of my political connection friends have told me that she is going to accept the position. It has been offered, and that Bill Clinton will allow himself to be vetted to ensure her to getting the position, and he will do whatever it takes. She really wants the job.
Yeah, and like I was saying, that was one thing that was surprised me because, everybody else, all these positions, the person gets named, nominated, accepted, it's a done deal. This has been sort of floating in the
Well,
air
the
for three
thing with
days.
this is going to be a cakewalk nomination process. I mean, she's not going to have any resistance. I mean, you even have Henry
Ooh, I don't know about
Kissinger.
that.
Oh, there's going to be very, very slim. I mean, even Newt Gingrich has said she would be a good Secretary of State. I have yet to hear anybody. The only worry is will Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton be running a separate foreign policy than that of the Obama administration?
I hope not. Because,
But that's the worry.
yeah, it is the worry.
It's the worry.
Yeah, but when you hear the talk with Hillary, the people that are discussing it, it is interesting how polarizing she is. Because, like you say, most of the people have come out really positively, but the few people that have come out negative, I mean, ooh, it's nasty.
Well, who have you
negative.
heard that's come out really negative?
Oh, who was that guy we heard? That guy from the New York Post. There's been a couple of people that have
Well, yeah,
had
if you can't
some
name
rude-
anyone, they can't be that
Well,
important.
we played the clip on Monday. Hitchens.
Oh,
Hutchins.
Hitchens is an angry Brit.
Yeah, he is.
He is. He's a really angry Brit. I agree with a lot of what he says, but he's saying, you've got to remember, this is a woman who made a fool of herself
Well, yeah.
during the primaries about the sniper fire in Bosnia and all that. And she, did everything she could to make Obama look incompetent. But I mean...
There
The
have been a
guy's been
couple
in
of
the
others that have
business
been
of being a
similar,
journalist for enough years that he should know that's how the game is played, kids. It's like it's everybody attack, and then after it's all kiss and make up. That's the way it's like. It's like when you're
Lieberman's
playing.
kiss and make
It's
up.
like when you're playing paintball. Okay, like at all objective is to take out the other guy. After you're still going to go have a beer with him.
Yeah, it was fun listening to Lieberman on that when he was doing the after the fact.
The
when they
mea
did-
culpa.
His, some of the things I didn't say, and some maybe I said too strongly, and some maybe I shouldn't have said at all. And gosh, heat of the
Gosh.
campaign, and
Yeah, I mean, when he's ending up doing the butt sucking, he still wants to be part of the caucus.
Well, he sees the writing on the wall.
Well, no
I
kidding.
mean, they very well may get to 60. One down, two to go.
And the fact is, he knows he needs some Democratic support if he wants to get reelected next time around.
Well, yes, because he promised the voters of Connecticut when he didn't win the nomination for the Democratic Party to run on the ticket and decided to run as an independent. He did promise the voters of Connecticut that he would caucus with the Democrats. That was, in large part why they put him back. Sent him back to Washington.
Well, I mean, by and large, it was still the Republicans that voted for him, and it was a narrow win. And
Yeah, but we're
the
talking
Democrats
moderates
challenged her.
here.
Well, yeah, true enough.
Obviously, the hardcores.
Well, it is Connecticut. I mean, we
It's
are
how
in the
it
part,
is
you know.
Connecticut exactly. I mean, it's
But,
pretty liberal.
But it'll be
Connecticut.
interesting to see whether his butt kissing continues for a while legislatively as well.
I
know.
see. Well, so what else have you been paying attention to the news at all, or any of your inside connections telling you anything juicy this week?
Not a whole lot from anything inside, to be honest. It has been the nomination process. The big story, but besides the Stevens, has been, of course, the debate on the automaker bailout.
And
It
for
looks
all
dead.
intents and purposes, it's probably not going to happen. In fact, again, I have every reason to believe they will not get the $25 billion. And that's not just from the news that I have that belief. And so basically an American icon has gone down the tubes. And you see, because bankruptcy, everyone says, well, why don't they just go into Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection? Well, okay, here's the problem. For most businesses, that'll work, except for the fact that the automotive industry won't work, because you tell me, are you going to buy a car from somebody in Chapter 11 where your financing could be gone like that, your warranty null and void, because they don't have to honor it because they're in Chapter 11 protection? Are you going to buy a car from a car company?
With
So
no
anyone
warranty.
who buys a car from GM, Ford, or Chrysler is out of their mind right now, because their warranty is as good as gone. So they better hope their car doesn't break down. That's all I can say.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see.
And
for
you
sure.
didn't you just buy a Ford?
I did.
So I mean
Recently
that's
bought a Ford,
that's
so I'm crossing my fingers at this point. But
Yeah.
they've clearly got it set up so the
if they
Senate's
can
going to
make
blame
it
Bush.
till February, Obama will bail them out, because Obama is in favor of bailing them out. But they're saying that they doubt they can make it to February.
Yeah,
And if they can't make it to February, the gig is up.
although it was interesting, some of the pointed comments. The last time the executives came and begged the Senate. I mean, one of the senators sort of asked these CEOs directly, "Okay, so since you're all about saving costs and trying to get things, which one of you guys showed up here on a commercial jet?" None of us.
Hi, Brody. Welcome to the show.
They all still flew to Washington in their private jets to hand out the tin cup with the hat in hand. It's like
Well, but the
it's
thing is, you know what I think? I don't think, okay, what does the President of the United States make? $400,000 a year, okay? That's what the President of the United States makes. And they have to pay for their own groceries. They actually have to buy their own food. I know it seems like, yeah, but they do. A lot of people think they get everything free, but they don't.